Alright, now to remove the liner from the whole rest of the fender assembly, we've just got a couple of clips to remove. This one here, we've got this clip, that clip, this clip. So you'll kind of find these as you go. You've also got these here. There is a fancy little tool to clip those, or you can get creative, use a screwdriver or whatever. And then once you find them all, that will come loose, and that is our fender liner. Alright, so it's pretty common after either cutting your stock flares or putting on aftermarket fender flares to put back on a liner that is trimmed to fit. Now, there's a lot of ways to do this. I've seen people, and instructions that, have you put the liner up without the flare and then trace around the body lines to cut. Here's what I did, quite simply, is, I cut this piece right here. Just lop that off right there. There's actually a place to screw that in to secure it. And then on this side, I'll show you how this works. This was right here. I just cut it off. Basically, I left this tab, and I'll show you why, for mounting. And then pretty much a straight line up to here. I didn't do anything fancy, no special measuring, just as straight of a line as I could get. My plan is to use this bolt that I have holding this flare on that tab, and then all of my other bolts, I have flat washers, and that should hold it in nicely. There's always this gap here. That's just the nature of the beast when you cut your stock flare, but I think this leaves for a pretty clean look without a lot of effort. Like I said, straight line from here to here, and then lop this piece off, and that's it. So my favorite tool for cutting these fenders might be an unusual choice, but it's a little Japanese flush cut saw. You can actually get these at Harbor Freight. They're made in Japan, and this is probably one of the most legit tools Harbor Freight sells. But this thing is fantastic for making quick work. So I'll just show you here. So if you remember right, we're going to just cut this bit off here. For me, it works best with a pulling motion. Bam. Just like that, nice and quick. So same thing. Once I get a couple of cuts started, alright, now I'm basically going to make a cut here. What I generally do is come over here, sort of give me a straight edge guide. I just scored a little line there. That. Now we'll go install it. So now we want to remove this one nut and bolt. Remember, there's a couple of washers you don't want to lose. Alright. And now also using the existing screws from when we took this off, we can fasten it back on. So I'm going to start with this guy. Up here. This won't fit super flush anymore, but it'll at least hold it in place. And then I've got some washers, some Fender washers. I just painted black so they don't stand out. This one here in the front takes a little bit of pressure. And then we'll have to figure out a new way to strap this down. Won't be too hard. All right. The last thing we have is this guy here. And what I'm going to do is just drill a little hole in the corner here and then use this re-existing bolt to hold it down. I think what I might do, trim the corner just a little bit. So the key here is you don't want to push it all the way up that it pulls out the bottom. So what I want to do is kind of rotate it. I'm just going to bolt it in there to where it holds at that angle too. Alright, so now I'm going to put this bolt through, and the challenging part's going to be getting the washer and the nut on the back side. You kind of have to work through this little hole here. Once you get it started, it becomes a little easier. And there we go. Once that's tight, it's a nice clean look. To reinstall my light, it's pretty good where it is, but I want to secure it. I just drilled a little hole in the bottom here. Now I'm going to run this up. And I loosened up this nut a little bit. Go. And I'll retighten that. There we go. All right, so that's the final fender liner look. I like it a lot better than the open motor. Gives a little bit of protection, and then looks fairly clean. All right, I'll go do the other front. All right, so same thing here. Just gonna cut this. There we hang that. And even though this wasn't used originally for the liner, it's going to work out great for us. Once again, we'll leverage the existing hardware from the Fender. First thing will be this big, actually a nut, not a bolt or a screw. It's going to go right up in here. And that's going to help get everything held in place loosely. Flat washer. Here. Another flat washer. Right here. And this, again, not necessarily designed for this purpose, but by golly, we're going to use it. Don't be afraid to stick your hand back in there, flex that plastic until you can get that nut started. Once you get it started, you'll be good to go. You can put another flat washer here on the outside of this. I'm not going to, because I think it'll hold fine. But if it starts looking like it's coming loose or tearing away, just put a flat washer on it.